So I'm Jez Ibelle, firstcomicsnews.com and Geek-a-Pedia live podcast on Podcast Detroit. I'm here with Colin from Canada.
Sorry.
Well, no, we love Canadians. We love you guys.
That's a joke. We always apologize over everything.
Oh, I see.
So yeah.
So, you are here at San Diego Comic-Con, and you and I are sitting here having a conversation.
Yep.
So, we kind of chatted a little bit. How did you get here?
Well, basically, 2 or 3 weeks ago, a friend of mine who moved back for the summer, me and him were hanging out and stuff like that, and I knew he was going to San Diego to showcase his short film. It's called Artie.
Okay.
It's playing tomorrow at the Marriott at 2:55
Okay.
in the afternoon there. And just out of nowhere, I went over to visit him one day, and he's just like, yeah, I got one guest pass. Here you go.
Nice.
Yeah, and he's just like,
Very
yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks before San Diego Comic-Con, it is completely sold out, and you get a pass.
I get a pass for free.
Word up.
Yeah, it's insanity. Like, honestly, he owns my firstborn at this point.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, so this is your first time at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yes.
This is also your first time at a convention.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah, period. Yeah. It's
and that's a big deal.
Yeah,
like San Diego's
absolutely.
your first experience.
Yeah. Like we have some cons back home. Like the biggest one that we have back home is one in Halifax called HalCon.
Okay.
But that's Halifax is about 6 hours away. It's the capital of my province.
Okay.
But I never went to that. There was no one really there that I really wanted to meet.
Okay.
So I said, it's not really worth the trek. And then in my area, I live on an island called Cape Breton. They're at my local university, CBU. Go Capers! We just started up one last year called CaperCon. I didn't even go to that because there wasn't really any guests that I was too fond on meeting.
Okay.
It was just a lot of people from anime and stuff like that, and, nothing that really interested me.
But you can't get offered a pass to San Diego Comic-Con and not go.
Exactly.
You can't.
Right?
It's that can't be a thing.
And it was insane too, because I got offered the pass. The next day I looked at my passport and it was expired for like 2 years, and I was like, oh crap, like I can't go. And then my friend's like, dude, we're going to Halifax for one day, get your passport renewed, rush it through, and we'll do this. And that's what we did. We just went up for one night, stayed at a buddy's, and went to the passport office, and then drove home, which is about a 6-hour drive, and then I went right to work right after that. Which is kind of crazy.
This is what you do to con.
Yes.
You do whatever it takes.
Absolutely.
Whatever
Absolutely.
it takes to con.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a once in a lifetime thing. Like, honestly, I won't even bullshit you and say that it was a dream of mine, because I never thought it would happen. The dream was like so big that I just said, you know what, it's never gonna happen. I never even thought I'd make it out to California.
And then it just falls in your lap.
It just happened. It just literally here you go.
So this is your first time in California as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And this is your second time in the States.
Yep.
So you've got a bunch of firsts going on right now. Like we're
ticking off the bucket list one by one. And yeah, no, it's amazing. Like, one thing that I was blown away by when we were flying over, like we had a bunch of layovers and connections, and we connected from Halifax to Toronto, and then Toronto to LAX, and then LAX to here. And when we got over to the West Coast, I was blown away by the mountains and the desert. Like, I never thought I'd see a desert in my life. Where I'm from, it's a lot of woods, a lot of high trees, pine trees and stuff like that. We do have mountains, but they're nothing like the mountains here, right?
I couldn't believe flying in, how close you get.
Yeah.
You get super close to everything, like neighborhoods and stuff.
Yeah,
so low. And then also, when I've never seen lights like this. When you fly, they're it's the city. I didn't realize how big San Diego actually was.
And when I was where I'm staying at, last night, there's an upper deck to it, and I walked up and I could just see out to the highway and all of San Diego there, and the lights are on, and I was like, oh my god, this is beautiful.
It's really neat.
Exactly. It's insane.
It is insane. San Diego is insane.
It's insane in a great way.
Okay, so your friend is featuring a movie here.
Yes, yeah,
okay.
Short film, yeah.
Okay, tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it's called Artie.
Okay.
Basically, it's about the golden age of comics, and it's kind of it's a fictional take on Jack Kirby's life and career, and his work at Marvel and stuff like that. And pretty much every character is more or less a caricature of multiple different cartoonists from the Golden Age and the Silver Age and stuff like that. It's amazing. Like when I would be hanging out with him, he would have so many like history books around with him, and like when we made our trip to Halifax to get my passport, we stopped at Strange Adventures in Halifax, which if you ever go to Halifax, go there. It is one of the greatest comic book stores ever. It's amazing. Check it out. And so he used to work there, so we met up with his former boss and we were talking and everything, and he bought whereas I was buying a lot of comics and stuff like that, he was buying all history books and stuff like that about comics and about the creators of comics. And the thing about the short film is that it's amazing because he did it on one soundstage, and it's almost like a play. You see characters coming in and out of the frame, and it's going through this chronology. It talks about how artists on the side would draw Tijuana Bibles back in the day, and they'd have to keep it quiet because back then it was very much frowned upon, and you could probably get fired or maybe even arrested. It's amazing the amount of research and effort that he put into the short film, and honestly, I really believe in it. It was fantastically shot and really well researced. Yeah.
I have to say, I am impressed with the way that you speak. You're very passionate about everything that you talk about, and you speak very...
Well, I mean, my entire life, I love comics. Comics are my life, Well, not so much my life, but it's my passion. Someday, I most certainly do want to work in comics.
Okay.
I would love to be a writer.
Okay. To be a writer.
And I have tons of story ideas that I just think about constantly.
So write 'em.
And it's one of those things that, like, I think comics are the greatest medium, I think, to tell a story. I think they're better than film. I think they're better than television. I think they're better than prose because it's a hybrid medium. It's not literature, but at the same time, it's not film. It's a visual medium mixed with literature going together. Whereas an author for a novel can write, a man walked down the road at night. Whereas in comics, you just show that.
Right.
But at the same time, you can also write that in too. And the beauty of comics is that they're for everyone. I think anyone who picks up a comic instantaneously understands it. They look at it, they're like, oh, it's a comic book, and they read it. And like, I have tons of friends back home, like I'm known as like the comic guy and stuff like that. And here and there I get friends of mine who say like, hey man, like what comics should I read? I'm like, and I always say like, what genre do you like? When you watch a movie, do you watch horror movies? Do you watch science fiction? What do you watch? And they're like, well, what about superhero stuff? I'm like, that's good too.
It's good too, but comics has been evolving.
Exactly.
It's evolving past the superhero.
Well, it's always historic. Like, let me put it to you this way: back in the golden age of comics, before the witch hunt of Frederick Wortham, and he posted the book. He published the book "Seduction of the Innocent," which was a lot of bullshit.
We have about 1 minute left.
Well. Basically, comics have always been very diverse, but the problem was when the Comics Code came in, everything became superheroes. But now we're at a point where we can read anything we want, and you can make anything you want, and it's beautiful.
It is.
Yeah.
And the independent market is really blowing up. It's really blowing up, and it's cool to see because it's been around for so long. Yeah.
And now it's finally, with the internet and social media, it's getting its due.
Sure.
Yeah, and it's fantastic to see creators who... Just like, I met a guy in there, Ramon Villalobos. I knew him back from my old Tumblr days, and I finally got to meet him in person. And now he's drawing a book. And now he's finally drawing a book for Marvel. And I'm so happy for the guy because he's an amazing artist and he's such a great person. So
20 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you, Colin, very much for your time, and see you.
Thank you.